Welcome back. It's wonderful to see you again. Today is day 6 of the series and I'm finishing up the dress. I want to show you what I did. So off camera, I had to do this because it's pretty hot right now and I needed to get the iron on and off very quickly. So I did already iron the sleeve cuffs or the ends of the sleeve so that I can sew them up and put the elastic in. I did already do that on both. I just did the ironing. I didn't stitch it yet. I'm gonna stitch it with you, and then I have my elastic right here. I'm going to weave this in using a safety pin and then close up the spaces, and then the sleeves will be notched. And that's pretty much all I was going to do today other than the hem. And I tried it on with obviously without having the sleeves completed, but I think I'm going to leave the length as is because I don't really want to take away length. So yeah, we're just going to do the sleeves today. So tomorrow we're going to put the buttons on and do the reveal. I hope you don't mind that it's broken up like that. But yeah, I wanted to make it significant and also do some talking like I've been doing and having topics for each day just to keep it going so you can know interesting facts about me in case you were wondering. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sew these closed and just leave a space. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about how I became a content creator or how I got into creating content, because this is my second channel, but it is my most favorite channel. I only have 2, but yeah, my other channel is a DIY channel. And where are my snips? Let me bring those over here, because even though this cuts, I just like to cut with these sometimes too. Let's get started here. Yeah, I became a content creator making DIY videos on YouTube. Being on YouTube was my first experience with social media, really. Like Facebook. Yeah, I was on Facebook for a bit, but yeah, YouTube was I think I already talked about this. I'm not even gonna say anything. Just change the thread and keep it going. Oh, the bobbin thread is almost gone. One thing nice about this machine is that you can see the bobbin thread through the little plastic piece, and you don't have to really guess if you have enough left. But yeah, I became a content creator on my DIY channel, which is always linked in the description box. It's called Random Bites of a Sweet Life in DIY. And Random Bites of a Sweet Life used to be my blog back in the day, like long time ago. I had a blog on blogger.com. I don't know if anybody remembers that site, but it was the place where people would go to if they wanted to be a blogger and they didn't want to use WordPress to like have an official paid for domain or site. And please work now. Yeah. And I have created a blog called Random Bites of a Sweet Life. Hopefully you can still hear me. And I would just blog about whatever. And I called it Random Bites of a Sweet Life because I was just typing away about whatever I felt like talking about. And so when I made my YouTube channel, I made the YouTube channel because I like to make things, and I was always making something, and my friend used to come over my house and see the things I made, and she would ask me about them, and majority of the time there was something new that she was seeing, and she was like, you should make a YouTube channel. And I'm like, nobody wants to see me making these little corny little home decor projects. Like, this is not what I thought YouTube was for. I figured YouTube was if you were like teaching some craft, some special craft that people didn't have any ideas about. But she was like, no, go on there, like go on YouTube. This was obviously years ago. Everybody's on YouTube now, or everybody knows what YouTube does now. But back then I'm like, nobody wants to watch that. So I went on there, I'm like, let's see, I might be able to do something. So I had taken pictures of things that I made So I started out just showing pictures. I made like videos, but the videos were like a slideshow of pictures to show projects that I had made. And that's kind of where I started. And then as I kept making things, I would just make a video for it. And that turned into my channel. And then I was never making videos to make videos per se. So anytime I did make a project, or anytime I made a video, it was for something that I was already gonna make. So if I was gonna work on something, I would make it and record it, edit the video and post it. I wouldn't make things just to have a video up, but I was always making something, so my channel always stayed active. And then even if it's not something that I guess I thought of myself, I became part of like this little community on YouTube of people who would like get involved in different challenges. So one YouTuber would create a challenge and say, oh, everybody make a Christmas mantle. Let's just say, I don't even know if this was one of them, but a Christmas mantle decoration, and we all share it together. And that person would create a playlist, and then they would put some link or something where you could add your video to their playlist. So then the point of it was for everybody who participated to watch the full playlist, so everybody could get a view, and then you can comment, you can like the videos, and it would like get traction on the video. And because I participated in a lot of those for like Christmas time, spring decor, summer stuff, like outside decor, tablescapes, my channel started to grow. And then I participated in the thing that grew my channel so my channel kind of like, I guess you could say, went viral, not too much, but in comparing to others, for myself, it was considered viral for me. And I did a porch update. So I updated my porch, a screened-in porch. Come on. Anybody have any tips? Please let me know. It's the start of a stitch. Seems to do this, even though I kind of reset it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. End up having to rethread this thing multiple times. I don't like that. Anyway, I updated my porch for this video, and I participated in this challenge because I think the challenge was something related to outdoor whatever, or a makeover, some kind of makeover or whatever. Because of the challenge, I think a lot of people started to watch, and then YouTube started pushing that video out, and then I got a lot of attention that way. And then I just kept going, working on my content, always doing home decor. It was mainly home decor or home stuff like dressers and room makeovers. You can just definitely check out my channel if you want. And I want to keep that channel going, but I just kind of, I'm always over here sewing or making something for wearable. Then I had another video kind of blow up a few years later, which was when I reupholstered my couch using drop cloth from Home Depot. And that video still gets a lot of attention now, which is lovely. And so yeah, that's where everything started, and it just kept going from there. I never stopped. And then I got a love for editing. Like, I really like to edit the videos. So I'm my own editor, and that's one of my favorite parts of the project. I don't want to have videos getting backed up. So sometimes if I have a lot of time, I can edit even better. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do, is the editing part. If anybody wants, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I kind of wouldn't mind editing other people's videos. I don't know, I haven't really gotten myself out there to promote myself as an editor. But I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. After I was making DIY stuff, I did start incorporating fashion into my DIY channel. And I'm like, I don't really want fashion to be on there. So I was like, I did one video for this brand called Rotita. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but they were around way back, and they were like a fast fashion, almost like a Shein or Fashion Nova, but they were kind of new at that time. So I made a video where I had ordered some clothes from them and I did a try on haul, and that video did very, 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 very well. And I think I did another one, that one did very well as well, but I didn't want my DIY channel to turn into a fashion haul channel or whatever, because I didn't really want to be displaying that on that channel. I wanted to keep it with just DIY. So I kept saying, oh, I should start another channel, but then I didn't. Kept going with the DIYs. And then later on, as time went on, I decided I wanted to create another channel, more so to talk about fashion, yes, but also to talk about just my personal life. So I wanted to keep the other one more just like project based. And then I wanted to have another one, which is why I created this one and called it The Modest Fashionista. And the original name that I really thought I was going to use was The Little Old Church Lady. And I think I explained that in a video a long time ago when I first started the channel. But because I am particularly religious and a lot of the things that I wear lends to that, like I don't really, and I'm older. I don't talk about my age, but I'm older than a lot of people online that I even watch myself. I just like certain content, and I only find that content, I don't find that content a lot in people my age. So I kind of look at the younger ones and I'm like, well, I'm older, so I'm gonna call myself the little old church lady because I just be going to church and living my life. So I might have good advice to give one day. I've been married for 16 years, and I figure I have good advice about relationships. I can answer questions and I can make videos about relationships. I can make videos about femininity and about my beliefs and convictions, spiritual things. I can talk about my personal testimonies. So I just thought this would be a good personal channel. And then so yeah, I started with fashion and try to get into that, because I really, really love fashion. I enjoy fashion. I love getting dressed. I like putting together outfits. I like making things. So putting all those things together, that's how this channel came about. And yeah, I've shared a few testimonies. I've shared my salvation testimony. I think I talked about that, but I kind of want to give it again, just to tell it in a different way, or see if, obviously it's going to be the same testimony, but I kind of want to just tell it again. And I feel like I'm older now. I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it in a different way and just give a different perspective on it. So I kind of want to do that at some point and talk about just my life in general, and then also tell stories or whatever, or share different things. And again, that is the way this channel came to be. And now I just sew things. I did, so back a long time ago, I bought myself a sewing machine. It was a Brother sewing machine, which I passed down to my daughter. She has it now. She doesn't really do much with it, but it's hers now. She can have it. I have this one, and I still have my other Singer. I have a Singer that is an old model, and the feeding dogs or whatever don't work. And maybe one day I'll get it looked into, but for now I'm just gonna have this. And I kind of want to get an industrial sewing machine one day. I'm not sure what brand to get, but one day I might look into that and actually purchase one. For now, this one is okay, although you saw it gives me trouble with that thread, and that's probably my fault. I just don't know how to stop that from happening. A long time ago, I bought a sewing machine for myself. I was always making stuff, making up, cutting things and sewing things by hand. And then one day I'm like, I'm making a dress, because I was going to I think it was a church anniversary celebration, and I decided I was gonna make my own dress. And I had no pattern, nothing. I don't even know what I was doing. I can't remember what I did. Maybe I traced some clothes. I'm not even sure, but I came up with a dress and I didn't wear it. It was fine. And then I sewed for a little while, didn't really do much with sewing, but then I kind of picked it back up in my videos now. And I've always used my sewing machine to like update clothes, make things fit me better, or kind of tailor my clothes that I had already purchased. That one dress for that anniversary was the only dress that I really made something from scratch. I didn't really get into that. So yeah, I had the sewing machine, but again, would only like take things in, adjust things. All right, so that's pretty much the background on May and how I became the modest fashionista. And I don't say fashionista to be like boastful or anything. I kind of just picked, obviously modest, because I have a certain limitations and things that I will wear. Things need to be modest for me. And I picked fashionista, again, not to think I'm like somebody, but just to emphasize the fact that it's about fashion. How else do you describe yourself as a fashion lover if not using certain words? So I thought it would pop, and I also thought it was relevant. But yeah, I'm not like a master of anything, because I just feel like everybody has their own style. I really love when people do their own thing. I don't like trendy stuff. I don't like everybody looking the same. I don't really like I don't like a lot of stores because the clothes look the same. I love thrifting because you find your unique pieces there. I love when people make their own clothes. I love when people customize and upcycle stuff and just have their own unique look. I don't agree that there's certain people are fashionable or stylish or anything. I feel like anybody can be stylish, fashionable in their own way, and just put on things that they like. Wear what you like. Wear your clothes wherever you want to go. Don't save things for certain occasions. Just be confident in whatever you put on and look your best. That is how I feel about it. And yeah. Okay, so I got the elastic through on both of these. And I think I talked long enough. So I'm just gonna sew these pieces together. I'm gonna take it to the machine maybe, but it's so thin, this thing is gonna bother me maybe, but I'm gonna try it. Just sew it straight this way, a couple of back and forth stitches, and then I'll pull it all in and then just close up this little space right here. And then it should be fine. And that's all I'm doing today. And then I will, like I said, do these buttons. They're right here. Put these buttons on and then show you what it looks like. All right, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.